interesting, not just in terms of the Supreme Court, but because of the midterm race as well. And we had a development yesterday that really makes you stand up and take notice. Senator Bennett, Bob Bennett of Utah, well-known conservative, been in the Senate for a number of years, is out in a primary in Utah. He spoke to reporters afterward and was obviously emotional about it.
The political atmosphere obviously has been toxic, and it's very clear that some of the votes that I have cast have added to the toxic environment. I offer my congratulations, as I say, to whoever wins. But I assure him he will not have any more loyal, dedicated, or efficient staff than I've had.
David Brooks, a reliable conservative for 18 years, yet he proposed an alternative on health care, and he voted for the bank bailout.
Right. This is a damn outrage, to be honest. I mean, there's a guy who was a very good senator, and he was a good senator and a good conservative, but a good conservative who was trying to get things done. The Wyden-Bennett bill, which he co-sponsored, if you took the health care economists in the country, they would probably be for that bill, ideally. It was a substantive, serious bill, a bipartisan bill, but with strong conservative and some liberal support. So he did something sort of brave by working with Democrats, which more senators should do, and now they've been sent a big message, don't do that. The second thing is the TARP. Nobody liked the TARP, but we were in a complete economic meltdown, and sometimes you have to do terrible things. And we're in a much better economic place because of the TARP, so he bravely cast a vote that nobody wanted to really cast. And now he's losing his career over that. And it's just a damn outrage.
I agree with David on this, and I think that something's happening inside the Republican Party that I think in the long run won't be good for the Republican Party. You just had an election in Britain where David Cameron, the conservative, almost got a majority by saying we need to detoxify, take the rough edges off conservatism, appeal to a broader constituency. And here you have a state party convention, by the way, not a primary. It's almost a nonviolent coup because they deny the sitting Republican senator even a chance of getting on the primary ballot. And I think the party, over the long run, risks a backlash among voters who may not be liberal at all, but don't like this kind of politics. And before people on the right crow too much about this, it is a party convention in Utah. I would imagine the left would win a party convention on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. So let's not sort of make this into a bigger thing than it is, but it is a big deal to dump somebody like Bob Bennett.
It isn't just Utah, because there are other places around the country, clearly, where the Republicans are going to sit through the same sort of fight. I've just come back from Kentucky and was interviewing Rand Paul. He's in exactly the same position. He's being backed by the Tea Party. He's up against the Republican establishment candidate. He says he's facing very strong headwinds, but the movement is in his favor and he's ahead in the polls. There is something, as you say, going on in the party and going on in the country of, you know, this anti-incumbency move, which is actually really playing out.
And I think that's actually a really important point, too, that it's not just within the Republican Party. I think this was a clear message to all incumbents that everybody's put on notice. I mean, one of the safest seats and one of the safest jobs traditionally has been if you're a member of Congress. The vast majority of congressional seats are not contested generally.
But we're not having the kinds of purity tests across the board that we see in some of these Republican races, where they are looking, in part because of the Tea Party influence, to say, where were you on the bailout? Where are you on the issue of big government right now?
Right, and that's become the big argument. We talked about this show in the past. I think it's because people have a sense, and to be fair to the other side, which I disagree with, they have a sense, I went to high school, I worked hard, other people didn't. I started a company, I worked hard, other people didn't. And now I'm being taxed to bail out people who either didn't work hard or screwed up. I feel my basic values are being violated. And that's what's motivating these people, and I completely understand that. But the fact is, in government, you can be a conservative and still deal with the other side. And people like Senator Bennett or Lindsey Graham, they're solid conservatives who know how to deal with the other side, and you have to allow room for that in politics.
Part of the debate that we're having that is a bigger debate